All right, so here we go. I'm going to use marker, and then I'll probably have to move to another one so you guys in between two sheets. Okay, so let me do domain. Domain is your x-axis. So if I look, see how this is an arrowhead, so it goes on forever. Okay, what part of the x-axis is being represented on this line? So if you were to pull points, this is like -1, 1, whoops, -1, -1. This is like -3, 4, right? So if you look at the x values, you got -1 and -3. If I pull a point here, it's 3, 1. That x value is your domain, okay? So this line, if you were to bring it down, this is the x-axis, and because it's an arrowhead, it's going forever and ever and ever. But this is a closed dot, which means it's inclusive, right? So you know this is a bracket, yeah? Do you remember that? Okay, so inclusive bracket, so what your domain would be in terms of negative values, it's negative infinity, but where does it stop? It stops at the filled in dot, and what number is that on the x-axis? 5, and that gets a bracket. Okay, if we look at range, range is your y-axis. So these lines, if I now bring this to the y-axis, all of this is being colored because here's my line, and it comes down to represent this part of the axis, the bottom part. And it goes on forever because this is an arrowhead. But here it's an enclosed, inclusive point, and so that stops at 2. And so what is my range? You always start at the negative, by the way, negative to positive. So what would be my range? Negative infinity, and where does it stop? Because it does stop, right? And it's a bracket because it's an enclosed circle. Whoops. It's an enclosed circle, so it's inclusive. Enclosed dot, plot. Go to the next one. Okay, so domain here. If I bring this down, and then I bring this up to the x-axis, it's between, where does the number start on the x-axis? The most left number. -5, but is that -5 a bracket? I was starting to color it, you guys. Or a parenthesis. Parenthesis. It's exclusive, not included. This means included. Which you guys know this. Not included. Included. So here's parenthesis -5, and where does it stop? On the x-axis, the furthest right. -2, bracket or parenthesis? Parenthesis. Go to range? Yeah, keep going. Okay, so then range, take that function, high, low, right? You can color in the middle if you want, but really you're looking at the high and the low. Okay, what's my low y value? -4. And what's my high value? 4, parenthesis. Go to the third one. Okay, so domain, it's exclusive point here, And then it follows along, it comes down, and it's an arrowhead, so really if it's an arrowhead, it's going on forever and ever and ever, right? Okay, so what's my domain then? -4 parenthesis to what? If it's an arrowhead, yes, Isaac?
Infinity.
Yes, positive infinity, and infinities always get a parenthesis. Okay, so now range, and then this is an arrowhead, so now it's going on forever. I want to color it. What's my range? -1 to, yes, positive infinity. It's not bad, right? If some of them you get right and others you get wrong, you're fine. It'll happen. With your functions, obviously, these are more like piecewise functions when you guys get to pre-cal, kind of. But for us, with our functions, there'll be a lot of infinities, and they'll look more like this. Like there'll be a start or a stop, and then some infinity. They're negative infinity or positive infinity. That's what the functions will look like with us. So as long as you know how to read the arrowhead, and then most of your functions will be closed inclusive circles or points, your beginning. Right. Okay, here, well, first of all, this fails the vertical line test, which is kind of like White and Desmos. You had to put in the positive and the negative, right, when you guys inverse a quadratic. Okay, so here, domain. This is an arrowhead, so if I bring it down, it stops here at 3, and then I bring this up. Well, first of all, this isn't a function, so we don't really like it, but pretend. Okay, so where's the far left, where's the far right? Negative infinity to 3. And parenthesis or bracket? There's no open, it's all closed, so what would it be? Bracket. This is more like what you guys would do, but we would only give you 1/2 of it. We wouldn't give you the other half. I'm recording. Okay, range, what's my range? Two, and it's an arrowhead, so you're going forever. So -2, close our parenthesis or bracket. Bracket, and then to what? Positive infinity. Whoops, that wasn't a pretty infinity. And by the way, if you don't put the positive on the infinity, I'll assume it's positive. Just, you have to put the negative on the negative infinity. Okay. But whenever you're looking at math, anything math, the positive always has the positive, right? But yeah, negative has a negative, positive has a positive. Okay, why don't you guys give the other 5 a try? And then, yeah.
How's it on negative infinity 3?
Wait, on 3 or 4?
On number 4.
Oh, because see that arrowhead, it's going forever. This little arrowhead. It's shooting this way, so it's gonna keep coloring downward.
How'd you get the 3?
Negative. Oh, on this one, it's here.
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, give the others a try.